Air Gap International's AG200-007, which is a dual air gap. You can do dishwasher on one side and reverse osmosis air gap on the other side. I also picked up from Air Gap International stainless steel brushed brass cover cap, because the AG200-007 comes with a plastic cap, which is the chrome, but I don't want the chrome, so I'm going to use this stainless steel brushed cap that will go right on top of it. The first thing we're going to do is to remove existing air gap, and you can see that existing air gap is just a single air gap, and it's already kind of loose on the screws a little bit. It's not very tight. I can remove it easily. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the holding screw. It's going to fall down, then I'm going to disconnect this air gap, and then I'm going to replace this space with the right there. It came off right there. And there's a little washer that comes, and it's already falling apart, this washer. And now I can just gonna push it down, and this is gonna be a new place for my new dual air gap. I will use a 5/16 nut driver, and I'm gonna remove this stainless steel worm clamp so I can remove the line from the garbage disposal. As you can see, it comes off really easy. You just slide it off. I will do the same thing and remove this worm clamp and also dishwasher worm clamp that's right behind that hose. Here's a dishwasher clamp. I'm going to go ahead and remove that also. So this is what I removed. I removed the old air gap. So that's going to go into trash. I removed the drain hose for garbage disposal that goes from the air gap, and that's from the dishwashing. And I'm going to install now the new air gap with dual input so that I can have reverse osmosis system going through this air gap also. First, let's install the drain line to the air gap, and I'm going to secure it with the nut driver, which is 5/16 nut driver. I positioned the hose so that my 1/4-inch quick connect on the left and the dishwasher inlet on the right. This way the dishwasher inlet will come directly from dishwasher, which is located on the right side of the sink. And I secured it to the bottom of it. And now we're going to remove the top, which has 3 nuts. I'm going to remove the top 2 nuts and then lower down the bottom nut so that I can push it from the bottom. So here are the 3 parts that I removed. One is the washer, one is the bottom nut, top nut, and also a cover for the air gap. And then I'm going to go ahead and lower this as much as I can so it goes through the counter. This particular counter is a little bit thicker, but this has plenty of space. It's 2.5 inches, so I should be able to get through without any problems. I'm going to go ahead and secure the dishwasher line, and then I'm going to leave the other one open for right now for the quick connect. And let me put a new line for quick connect, which is 1/4-inch line, and I'll connect it then, and then we'll push it through the top of the counter. Now I'm going to connect a new 1/4-inch line into the drain line on the reverse osmosis system, and the other part is going to, another part is going to go, another side will go into the input here into the air gap. Now that I have everything connected, there is my waste line from the reverse osmosis, there's a drain line that go into garbage disposal, and there's a dishwasher on the other side. I'm ready to put the air gap through the counter, through the bottom to the top of the counter. Now the air gap is protruding from the bottom of the counter to the top, right here. I'm going to go ahead and put the first nut so I can secure it, and then put the second nut, and I'll show you how to do this in a second. So the first step, I'm going to put a washer on, because that will prevent from air gap leaking to the bottom of the sink. Okay, and the second, we're going to put a first washer, which is going to adjust it so that we can install the top cap. And I will need to straighten it out on the bottom in a second, so that's straight. And then I will continue putting the nut in so that it goes far enough to secure the air gap. Now that I put the air gap and put the nut a little bit lower, I'm going to go ahead and put the cap on top of it, right here. Okay. That's the cap is on now, and I'm going to put the top nut and I'm going to secure it all the way down. So that's secure right there. And then I'm going to back up the bottom nut to meet the cap, to meet this top nut. So I'm just going to back it up like this. Okay. And now it's in the right position. You just don't tighten it, you just bring it up to it and leave it. So now I'm going to tighten the nut on the bottom of the air gap so it's nice and straight. So I made the bottom nut really tight, and then I just use this nut to secure it a little bit more. And you can see there's no gap between these two, just a basic small little gap. So now if you want to ever replace or clean the air gap, you just remove this nut, remove this, clean the air gap, put this cover back up, and then secure this nut on top, and you're all set. So you don't tighten it, just a little bit, and you're all done. Finally, to make it look pretty, I'm going to put my stainless steel cap on top, and I'm going to orient the discharge holes toward the sink on the left hand side. Now once you push it in, you can see, you do not see anything. There's no gap at all because it has a little skirt here. We still need to do a little bit of work under the sink. I'm going to take the discharge hose from the air gap, put it into garbage disposal spigot, and secure it with a worm clamp. Right there, with a worm clamp. And that completes the installation. The air gap is installed, and the reverse osmosis system will drain right into the air gap and into the garbage disposal. I will also need to replace this pipe, 1/2 inch pipe, because it was illegally drilled, and UPC and IPC code does not allow drilling into any drain pipes. To verify that air gap reverse osmosis system is working, I'm going to just turn the arrow on right here. My on-demand tankless RO system is working, and here the discharge water goes through the air gap. Now that I turned it off, it doesn't drain anymore. And that completes the installation of the dual dishwasher and reverse osmosis air gap.